Hi, I'm walking day 60, my vlog blog Journey to Life series. Tonight the vlog will be about my blog from last night called Being Shocked. And within the self-forgiveness, I walk through a point that occurred yesterday. I was doing something and there was another person with me, and they kind of in a pushful way told me that I needed to do something or do the task in a certain way that they saw that was better than the way I was doing it. And I looked at the points within myself and I saw that it was more effective the way she was doing it, and so I did it the way she wanted me to do it. But the point that I reacted to and saw that I went into a reaction was the point of her kind of yelling at me and forcefully telling me how I should do things. So within myself I saw that this anger was triggered. Well, I went into the back chat and was trying to diminish her within my mind, and this was triggered based on the kind of yelling and forceful way she talked to me. And it's that yelling in the forceful way that she's talking to me is where I react. And so I looked at the point obviously in this blog and saw that the points were based on me going into fear of being yelled at and being told that I'm doing something bad. This is being triggered based on my childhood, where I used to get yelled at a lot when I was younger, and the loud high-pitched yells, and within myself it would send a whole shock wave through me. There's a life review on this, an EQOF life review, where a girl had a whole life experience based on this one memory of her being yelled at in kindergarten. So I'll attach this to give you some more perspective on this pattern and this point of being yelled at and what that can manifest in a kid who reacts a certain way to it. And the way I reacted to it was in fear. Like I didn't like being yelled at. I didn't like the noise of it. It scared me to the core. And certain people in my life would yell at me in this way, and I'd always go into this fear and try to figure out why I was being yelled at. If I was doing something wrong, seeing myself as obviously I'm doing something wrong and I'm bad if I'm getting yelled at like this. And so holding on to these memories of fear, and then immediately going into this point of seeing myself bad and wrong. And so within this point of being yelled at with this person yesterday, I went into that reaction, it was like an automated thing. It went, she yelled at me, I went into that tightness, tension and fear, and then I immediately went into my mind and went into anger and told her in my mind to shut the hell up and don't tell me what to do, and trying to demonize her and diminish her. And the reason was because of this initial shock sensation that I got through her yelling at me. So within the self-forgiveness, I forgave that point of reacting in a trigger point of the yelling and the noise of it. Stopping that, stop reacting to the fear of it, letting go of the fear, and stopping going into the point of anger and then trying to diminish her in my mind so I could, kind of get back at her and, release the anger that I felt within myself for being yelled at. And also it's letting go of this point that seeing myself as like diminishing myself because I'm yelled at, and seeing myself as bad and judging myself for being yelled at, and seeing me as like doing something wrong instead of looking at myself within common sense and self-honesty and seeing if there's points that I could work with in this point. And I did see a point when I did look at this yesterday after I breathed through the reaction. Kind of saw the point that I was reacting to, and then I saw that what she was saying to me was correct. Although she was doing it in a forceful way, what she was saying to me was more effective than within the way I was doing it, or it was more effective than the way I was doing it. So it was actually a point where I could learn from and see, okay, I can, integrate this into my life and become more effective in what I'm doing based on what she's shown me. And then, so within that whole point, instead of reacting and going into the fear and and going into separation by going into anger and demonizing the woman and, diminishing her within myself, not reacting to that whole, being yelled at and what she's saying to me, and just see what within the point, what I can gain from it and what I can use useful for myself, and see if I can learn anything from it. Use my self-honesty within it, and let go of the points of separation, the anger, the fear, because really it's just noise, and it is, within myself I could direct the point and, speak to her and say, please do not yell at me. You can show me what to do in a way that is, equal to me, not, forcing yourself onto me, but, you can give me direction in a way that is pleasant. Not pleasant, but direct, not in a way that, forces yourself on me and yelling at me, but just talk to me like I would talk to you, directly, evenly, equally. So that's a point where I can give direction to her and show her where I'm coming from and that I'm not accepting her to yell at me. Also within this point is not being moved or reacting to the noise in itself, because it's just a noise and there's no reason to go into fear. It's, nothing can come of it, nothing can hurt me, I know, and it's just letting go of that memory that I have, letting go of those patterns to go into the mind and react and go into anger and blame the other person. Stop all that and just walk with her in physical reality directly, share common sense with her if I see it, and gain what I can gain from the situation to support myself and support my living and becoming a more effective being to create a more effective, to create myself more effective in my life. So, it's taking the situation that happened yesterday and taking out of it points that I can benefit from and support myself and support everything here within using self-honesty and common sense. That was a point for yesterday. And so I walked it out in the forgiveness and the commitment statements, and I now know and have walked the point out for myself to see when this happens again, I can be effective within myself and not go into reaction, direct the point, and create equality within myself here in physical reality with the other person. So stopping the separation and becoming one and equal with my world in physical reality and who we are as life, inequality in the physical here. So this process is pretty awesome. It's a really cool walk, and I suggest everyone who's watching this, if you haven't heard of Desteni or the Journey to Life blogs that Destonians are walking, check out the links in this video, read about it, and, you know, participate if you see relevance in it. Alright, thanks for listening.